Hello. Hello. Well, hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Hello, hello, hello. This is Jeannie coming back at you, trying to give you a positive word today, yesterday, and evermore. I hope you all doing well. It is a new year, and I have decided right now that we are going to read the book of Ecclesiastes. I really think we need it right now. Okay. Because look at what's happening in the world. I think we really, really need it right now. Because look at the world. People want to have sex with babies. They do. Men want to see a woman and capture her and kidnap her and kill her. It happens. I haven't even seen a serial killer that hunts for gay people as long, because I'm like, how do the women survive? We just keep growing and keep thriving, no matter how many of us get murdered or killed or, maimed and all that. We still striving. We are still here. And as long as we are still here on this beautiful earth, we are going to know that we love ourselves. It is not selfish to love yourself. It is not. If it is selfish for you to love yourself, then you ain't doing it right. Because loving, period, is not selfish. If you love someone or something, you are not going to be selfish with that person. Believe me. Okay. So today we're going to finish the outline of the book of Ecclesiastes. Now, remember what I said the other day? I was talking about how the wisdom is found bankrupt of real value. Now, that is true during our days right now. Neither is the answer to be found in pleasure and wealth and great accomplishments, in a doctrine of retribution or materialism. See, now I'm going to tell you, no matter what. Kardashians, they got it going on. But you see their personal life. It's really kind of sad to see. And it's even more sadder to see it all on TV. That's why I don't watch that stuff. I don't watch that stuff. That stuff takes up precious space in your head. I would rather read something like this so that we all can understand how we can treat each other better. Okay? Like I said, some people read the Quran, the Mormon book, this book, that book. But when it comes to the Bible, oh no, let me stay away from that one. That's so stupid. Okay, I think I went ahead of myself. Let me see. He may personally verify it and pass it down to his disciples. Maybe I am. Nope, I'm not. Okay, I'm not. Okay, yep, here we go. The book of Ecclesiastes gives every evidence of being a carefully composed literary essay that must be grasped as a totally before it can be understood in part. The content of the book is defined by nearly identical verses, which circumscribe the book by anticipating and summarizing the conclusion of the author. See, it's better to read something about the book before you read it. And when you do that, it does help you understand. But just because you read something about it before you read the book doesn't mean what's being said that you have to agree with everything. You know what? Sometimes people don't agree with what they read. But the part that you do agree with, make that part special. Make that part a necessity. Because if I go through a day and I don't think positive thoughts about myself, I wouldn't have a very good day. So you know what? I'm taking slow steps, slow steps, slow steps. Okay? So now it says here, would circumscribe the book by anticipating and summarizing the conclusions of the author. The theme is set forth in chapter 1, verse 3. What profit as a man from all his labor in which he toils under the sun, that is, in this life? Or can true wisdom be found by a human being apart from revelation from God? The preacher's quest is for some sort of fixed, unchanging value, a profit. Profit is a fixed, unchanging value that can be found in this life under the sun, that can serve as a basis for proper living. I hope you watch my videos. I hope you learn a lot from my videos. The reason why I'm saying that is because people are regular people. We're going to always do something wrong, okay? But wouldn't you feel better about yourself if you can stop that? So you mean to tell me you've been looking at this family? Excuse me. You've been looking at this family for months. And you think you want to go over there and kill the little girl and rape her and kidnap her and all that. You can't help it. You have a strong desire for this little girl. Even though it's warped, even though that's not the right thing to do, you still have a desire for this little girl. Are you going to act on your desire? Or are you going to say, you know what, don't do that, don't do that? Are you going to be the type of person that's going to hurt somebody because you want to see how it feels to kill somebody? That is the silliest stuff I ever heard. I'm trying to get out of that line, that shadow. That is the silliest stuff I've ever heard. Why would anyone say that? And see, this is my thing. I'm trying to make America fun again because this don't make no sense. I should be able to go out to an outside concert by myself because I am a single person. Okay? Go to the concert, have a good time, maybe meet some good people. We go to the bar, have a drink and stuff, and then I get back in my car and I come home. No problem. That should be my right. I am an American citizen, just like the people that kill people. You know, Illinois is banning the hard rifle. You know what I mean? The rapid fire rifle. And I pray that we get that passed because Sandy Hook parents, I feel sorry for them. The Sandy Hook parents, because we should have banned it a long time ago. Okay, then that means only somebody can have a handgun or a rifle. They can't have that AK-47, not legally. Okay, so let's get back to Ecclesiastics. So, profit that can be found in this life that can serve as a basis for proper living. The Hebrew word translated profit is yitron, and may also be translated gain and value. Vanity is a key word in the book translating the Hebrew hebel, literally breath, thus indicating what is moral, transitory, and of no permanence. As he tries each of the avenues proposed by humanity to achieve the value being sought, he finds them elusive. He can't find them. And fleeting, transitory. Okay. He finds them elusive. He can't find them. You know, they're not easy to find. Grasping for the wind. Because, you know, every time you try, and if you miss it, you're going to grasp for the wind. And fleeting, transitory, vanity is the answer to be found in pleasure and wealth and great accomplishments in the doctrine of retribution or in materialism. You know, I like to keep my things on here. I don't know how to edit, and I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing. But my thing is this: I am here to encourage anyone. If you read the Bible, and you have a change, don't worry about that. The change is okay, but you're not supposed to feel guilty about nothing. There's no condemnation for those who read the Bible. The reason why I say that is because even if you're not a believer, you can still read the Bible and still have a basis for what they call it, proper living. Now, that doesn't mean proper living is, segregation, or proper living is not being separated. Proper living is not being by themselves. Proper living is doing the right thing by your fellow person. What we say is said. It said proper living. Proper living is when you know you could give some stuff. Oh, honey, I gave all the time. Now it's just me. I don't have a lot of accumulation. But when it was my family, my ex-husband, my daughter, my son, we always gave our overs to the Salvation Army. We would go to the pantries and get some things ourselves. But recycling is a very awesome verb. Recycling is a great thing to do, but you ain't supposed to feel bad if you don't recycle. See, there is a balance there that God wants you to know, or without God, it's still a balance there. Okay? The balance is this: treat yourself good and you'll treat someone else good. If you treat yourself bad and all the things and everything, I understand. I've been there. I've been a drug addict. I was a latchkey kid. When I get home, wasn't nobody there. Okay, I used to lock my front door and put a chair in front of it till somebody came home. Look, I was always I was always alone. I didn't have friends or whatever. And it's not okay at certain times, but then again, especially now, I should be able to swipe on a man on a freaking app and want to get to know him and talk to him without worrying that he gonna kick me and beat me up and then rape me for 30 days and then dispose of me. I shouldn't even have to think about that. I don't understand. And you always want to get somebody that's weaker than you. Yeah. I don't understand that either. So we're going to go on and read. If neither accomplishments nor things are yitron, what then should be one's attitude towards them, seeing they have no permanent value? All that stuff you got in your house is no permanent value. And you are paying up the wazoo because of home insurance. But you know what? You keep that home insurance. It's okay to keep that home insurance. Whoa. Keep that apartment insurance, renters. Keep that renter's insurance. Because that renter's insurance, if anything happens, it'll be okay. But if you don't have the renter's insurance, don't feel bad. Oh my God, I've got to get renter's insurance. No, you don't. You really don't. Okay, so let's look at this. It says, the answer introduces the secondary theme of the book. One should enjoy both life and the things with which God has blessed him. Somebody always looking at somebody else's stuff. Don't do that. Somebody always thinking that their stuff ain't good enough. Yes, it is for right now. Because you know what? If you love yourself, you cherish yourself, you will buy stuff for you to be happy with. Not all that overboard stuff. I mean, if you're a drug addict, you're a drug addict. But you know what? He'll come into your life too. These words will come into your heart too. You don't have to feel bad about anything. When you take that hit and you challenging your life or death, hey, that's your choice. Nobody's going to make you feel bad about it. The only thing that makes me feel bad about that when I see that crap is when I see children suffering. And like I said on my other video, you mean to tell me you can't wait till the kid go to school or y'all come back home from wherever else and you can't wait until nighttime before you got to hit that pipe? If you got kids, y'all got to compromise. That's not fair. The drug cannot take over your kid's life too. And it almost did me. And I understand how hard it is to quit. But I know one thing is better when you quit. Life is so much better when you quit. Because them hard drugs, they don't do anything right. Just like assault rifles. There we go. Assault rifles don't do nothing for people. Yet they out there. Stupid. So think about it. Think about it now. Here we go. All right. So, breath. Thus indicating what is moral wait, okay. I'll be going backwards sometimes. If neither accomplishments nor things are profit, what then should be one's attitude toward them, seeing they have no permanent value? The answer introduces the secondary theme of the book. One should enjoy both life and things with which God has blessed him. Just enjoy your life and your things. Don't look at what you don't have. Look at what you have. Lord, somebody was like, you know what, Jeannie, maybe sometimes you should go spend the day at the hotel. And I'm thinking like this, why? I got my own apartment. I got my internet. I've got my TV. I've got my food. I've got whatever I want in this apartment. Now, if I go to another city or something and I want to stay, I will stay in a hotel. But I'll go walking, and looking at stuff. I always did. I always have. I always will. Okay? So you are blessed. If not by him, then you are just blessed, because the opposite of the blessing is a curse. And no matter if you believe or not, it's still a curse. And if you want to believe the curse over the blessing, that's okay, because that's your choice. But I would rather think of blessings than cursings. But you know what? People nowadays, they are portraying things that are really still bad in a good light. And it's really confusing. Because I love that people are transitioning. They're really doing the things that their heart and soul want to do. And I totally, absolutely support that. But when you tell me that a man is going to have a baby, we know that ain't right. A man cannot physically have a baby. What is wrong with saying that? A transgender woman had a baby. Until it's permanent. Then we can call her a man. Right now, she just ain't got no breast. That's it. Another person that she's with just still has a penis. And that's it. Because that's too much. A man is not going to have a baby. Okay, just like this. Okay. Even human life itself is, in any secular, humanistic sense, cannot be the profit the preacher seeks. The interplay of death and life is also a subordinate theme for the book. See, people don't like thinking about death or, hell or anything contrary. We got to. We have to embrace both. We have to embrace both death and life. We have to deal with it. I would rather deal with it while I'm alive than when I'm dead. Okay? Okay. But returning to the preacher's grand quest, is it destined to conclude as it began on a note of despair? The preacher's constant probing of all existence for meaning shows him to be an optimist or a pessimist, and his failure to discover any absolute abiding value in this life does not mean his quest is a failure. It's not a failure. It is not a failure. You reading the word and then you go out there and smoke. But you know what? You're gonna start loving yourself. Okay? The book that is called the Bible is a book to remind you of who you are. Why it does that, I don't know. It's doing it right now. It's doing it right now about your life. Okay? Even human life itself. Okay, the preacher's constant probing. Okay. Oh, you are not, shows him to be an optimist, not a pessimist, and his failure to discover an absolute abiding value in this life under the sun does not mean his quest was a failure. Instead, he finds himself compelled by his observations that God placed order in the universe at the time of its creation to seek the value he seeks in the world to come, not under the sun, but above the sun, so to speak. Although he does not specifically state it was such the logic that undergirds in his quest. It compels him to find the only real profit in the fear or the reverence and obedience of God. No matter what, if you're a believer or not, you still have you have a thing that you have to go under it, like obedience. The law of gravity. You have no choice but to believe and do that law. The law of gravity is relevant. It is a law that will never change, that you have to be under. You breathe oxygen. That's a law you have to be under. Okay? And you got to keep yourself in open fields and, green grass and all of that stuff in order to be able to feel good about yourself. Because when we stay inside all closed up and stuff, sometimes that don't feel good. But you have to know who you are so that you can become a proper human. What did it say? Proper what? That you will have proper living. People that are bandits and thieves and liars and all that, they have a proper living to themselves. Okay? This is my thing. You're going to sin, you're going to sin, you're going to sin or you're not. This is life. And if you consider your life, then you will consider somebody else's. You can't do that. Okay? Don't even be stingy with yourself. You know what I did? I had this beautiful necklace from Avon, and my daughter begged me to wear it. And I told her, no, I'm going to wear it. And she's like, when you going to wear it? I said, someday. Lord, I moved in I had that necklace for so long because I only wore the earrings. I had the necklace for so long, the necklace broke. And I was kind of mad at myself, and my daughter was really ecstatic. But, enjoy stuff while you're here. Because you know what? You're going to enjoy stuff when you're not here. I believe there's something for us to look forward to. Okay? And sometimes I believe that we try to guess what God means and guess what God say. No matter what we think, we are never going to understand what he's saying, the whole thing. Because we're not meant to. We are not meant to understand everything, because the things that we try to understand and then we don't have an answer for it, we don't like that. And here I am. You don't need to have the answer for it right now. It always comes. It always comes. So just because you don't know the answer doesn't mean you can't throw that question around with you for a couple of millennia. Okay? And see, that's what it is. When you say it is what it is, that's exactly what we're talking about. Period, point blank. It is what it is. Okay? I really don't understand why bullying is still prevalent in school. I just can't believe it. That is still something that we are following, that we haven't got a hold of yet. There's some things we got to change. We want to make America fun again. Let's make America fun again. You know what I mean? Okay, so here we go. So it says, but returning to the preacher's grand quest, okay. The preacher's constant probing of all existence for meaning shows him to be an optimistic, not a pessimistic, and his failure to discover any absolute abiding value in this life does not mean his quest is a failure. Instead, he finds himself compelled by his observation that God placed order in the universe at the time of its creation, to seek the value he seeks in the world to come, not under the sun, but above the sun, so to speak. Although he does not specifically state it as such, the logic that undergirds his entire quest compels him to find the only real profit in the fear, reverence, and obedience of God, and also in the reverence of your fellow man. See, you can't be in your own reverence. Now, that's too selfish. Okay. You are in the reverence and obedience to God, or you are in the reverence and kindness to man. See. But see, when you read this book, you will understand what that means. You will. This is affirmed in the epilogue, reverence for God, and keeping his commandments are the whole duty of mankind. This duty must be carried out in full knowledge that while there is no real justice to be had in this life, God will eventually judge all that is and set it right. On this profound note, the book concludes. See, it concludes with a positive message, because you can't always keep on thinking about the negative stuff, because if you do, you're not gonna have anything. So, too often Christians in the modern church find themselves passive intellectually, accepting almost anything they are taught or simply challenging a doctrine on the basis of how it feels instead of looking to see whether it has biblical foundation. So you're not supposed to sit there and accept everything. Even though the Bible say that, give them the cloak and give them your cloak and your coat. Now, there's situations where God don't want you to do that. Maybe there's situations where God wants you to do that, but he don't want you to be no robot. Just doing everything he said. You just doing everything in the church, lying down. You know, the way men in the church just treat their women. Oh, did I say that? Yes, I did. While I was going through my divorce, I was at church. Oh, yes, I served in the church. I gave my time, talent, and treasure to this church, right? When I was going through a divorce, the man wouldn't even counsel us. And at that time, my ex-husband was not a believer, but he was willing and ready to have our marriage described by someone else on the outside. And that man, I couldn't believe it. But you know what? I'm not the judge if he's going to heaven or hell. You want to know why? Because he's been saved all his life. And I really still believe he's going to heaven. Shoot, there's some mean Christians down here. There are some bullying Christians. There are gossiping Christians. It sure is. They're stuck up Christians. And see, I really believe this. We're going to be in our own spaces in heaven. I really, really believe that. So, okay. So remember that, you guys. You don't have to sit there and just take it all. Seriously, laying down and then, someone else who know you go to church will say, but wait a minute now. Oh, no. No. It's the stuff that's deep inside. Y'all know that stuff inside. Come on now. Everybody know what I'm talking about. Everybody got it. Are you going to sit there and let me scream and holler and die? Because that's what people do, but at least calling 911. No, you want to hear something. That cracks me up. Crazy. Okay, so the preacher's challenge finds a parallel in the Apostle Paul's words to the Ephesian Christians not to be tossed to and fro and carry about with every wind of doctrine. This is exactly the wisdom I'm talking about. We get some wisdom now. This is for anybody. Not for the saved or unsaved. Not for people that don't believe. It's for everybody. Okay? So what that is saying is don't be tossed to and fro. You know, you've been reading this book all the time. Now you're going to read another book because, ooh, that book going to open your life. And then next thing you know, what happens is, see, what happens is, you will not be stable, okay? Tossing to and fro. Oh, I believe that part, but no, I don't believe that part. Can't be like that. If you believe it or you don't. This is the reason why I say it just like this. Is that life is worth living. Please love yourself enough to say that you have the capacity to find your profit or your value in this life. And especially while we're reading this Ecclesiastes, because I'm just going to go straight to the chapters next time. So here we go. Let's read this. Okay, so the preacher's challenge finds a parallel in Apostle Paul's words to the Ephesian church not to be tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine. That's when you start going nuts. That's when you start going crazy. That's when you think you hear other people talking to you and it's only God. And it's in your own voice. How are you going to sit there and be tossed to and fro and then feel like you're an apostle now? But you ain't even been saved for 5 years. Okay? You ain't even been reading the book for 5 years, and yet you feel like you know things that other people don't. No. It's not for you to profit from. It's to profit you. See? That's what it means. So, with the privilege of interpreting the scriptures for oneself, clearly established by Luther and the Reformers, comes the obligation to search the scriptures and see what they really say. I can't stand people would be trying to say something about the scripture. And then they don't get it right or nothing, and then they get embarrassed, and then they say, well, I don't believe it anyway. Y'all got to stop doing that stupid stuff, too. Everybody is embarrassed every once in a while. That's why I tell you, I come as transparent as I can be. As transparent as I can be. And so I want to just finish out this paragraph, okay? The determination of the preacher to find what is of real value in this life should be a challenge for any true believer in Jesus Christ. The way, the truth, and the life. The preacher's failure to find real value in earthly things and comfortable lifestyles challenges the Christians who lives in the age of greed and materialism to concentrate on the things that are above and not to glorify greeds and riches. See, it's a two-edged sword. Want you to enjoy your things. But on the other side, not too much that you will not believe in God. Not too much that you won't believe in God. Okay? That's when you start getting up into religious craziness. When you think that God is giving you these things to glorify you. No, he's giving you wisdom to glorify you. Any book that you could read and get an understanding out of it, that is the rub. That is what you come from it. Not more hatred. No. Not from hatred. Okay? Because this book is a really good book. And you know what? I got I've got 2 paragraphs left. I'm going to cut it off because I try to cut it off for 20 minutes or whatever. And so I hope you guys like this video. Please come back to my channel. We're going to still be delving into this mysterious book in the Bible, Ecclesiastes. Thank you so much for your time, spending time with me. Bye.